Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. It's almost Memorial Day, and none of you invited me to any barbecues. You don't want to invite Alphanine. Alphanine's too wild, right? So let's start here. We got a lot of news to cover today. We have some Algorand. Let's begin with that. Don't forget to check out Algo Babushkas. A lot of good new projects over there. Some of the best NFTs on the market. We're going to start off with Algorand, then we're going to transition into the XRP news. So we have a tweet here. This is on Algorand's Twitter, and it goes as such. Built on Algorand at Data Museum's first NFT series of historical artifacts were automatically produced by real-world earthquakes. Now, this is significant. This is important. If you remember last year when NFTs were exploding, I said, I gave a couple of ideas of where I thought NFTs would go. One was having digital banks. I threw that out there. Digital banks, and you see them starting to try to do that, right? You see them trying to put together these metaverse banks. That's number one. That is going to be huge. And that's why Algorand needs to get into the metaverse deeply. And really dominate is what I mean. That's why XRP needs to dominate the metaverse. We want to take as much money as we possibly can. There's going to be a lot of money flowing through the metaverse. And I mean, it stands to see if everything's going to succeed. But I believe they even talked about the metaverse at the World Economic Forum. Now, if they're talking about the metaverse at the World Economic Forum, the metaverse is here to stay. Money's going to be coming out of that metaverse. But it's a long play because they're still building the metaverse, okay? Now, with that being stated, museums. So anyway, I threw out the banks before we get to the museums. I threw out the banks. They should be doing that in the metaverse. I also said they should have metaverse movie theaters. I said that last year in like November? Remember that? Metaverse movie theaters. People can put their headsets on or AR glasses, whatever it's going to be, or go into their video games. I don't know how you access the metaverse, but they can watch movies right in a theater with their family members and friends around the world with a digital avatar in the metaverse. So that was something else that I threw out there, okay, last year. Now, this tweet here indicates that they can also have museums. A lot of people can't go to the Louvre, okay? A lot of people can't make it to Egypt. However, with the realism of some of the technologies you have now, like the textures and things like that, for some of the gaming softwares, I don't even know if you should call them gaming software anymore. They're so realistic. They're like art software, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but they've transcended what I believe the video game realm was known to be. Unreal Engine has some of the most realistic renders I've ever seen in my life. So you can have people with avatars like that, realistic Unreal Engine style avatars. You can have Unreal Engine style artifacts from your museum in the metaverse and still charge. Maybe you charge a discounted price because it is metaverse. It's not in the physical. And that would help the physical retain its value when people want to buy tickets to go to the museum. But let's say you have in Egypt, museum in Egypt, or a temple or something like that. You can have the people actually visit that exact replica of that place in the metaverse. There's a lot of money in that. XRP needs to dominate that. Well, they don't need to, honestly. XRP doesn't need to, honestly. With the interbank payments, whew, and we're going to get to that too. I have some stuff here on Fedwire. Be patient with me. But I would like to see the XRPL dominating that, bring more money in. Algorand dominating that. Zilliqa is in there, but Zilliqa, you know, is not one of us. It's not a bank coin. Stellar should dominate that. Hedera could definitely dominate that. They have a strong NFT presence. So this I thought was huge, just for those reasons there, that there's a data museum based on actual historical artifacts. It shows you where the tokenization of all things is going. They're building slowly. So now let's jump here. More huge news when it comes to Algorand. Algorand is going to explode. Keep in mind, these are long-term plays because I think with the pressure of everything going on right now, the markets are down. That doesn't look good. Psychologically, there's a lot of pressure on people. I understand that. Then on top of that, heap on top of that all of the FUD, because all of the weaklings of the legacy system have just been heaping themselves upon crypto and just taking advantage of crypto lately, kicking everybody while they're down. You're not kicking me while I'm down. I'm a warrior. I'm still in the phalanx and we're still coming for that money. Simple as that. I'm here to the end. But they've been doing that to the crypto industry, kicking it while it's down. So keep in mind that these are long-term plays. Algorand, in my humble opinion, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you look at everything, look, the markets won't remain down forever. I don't believe that. They will come back at a certain point. Who knows when? But we have 4 to 5 years. We're going to get into that. Also, there's a lot of news that came out to the last 2 days. Algorand stands to explode because of all the partnerships that they have done. If you look at their diagram of partnerships, it's unbelievable. And when everything is up and running and there is regulatory clarity, that is holding things back. I keep hearing people say regulatory clarity is not holding institutions back. That is silly. Nobody wants a subpoena from the SEC. And you have even very prestigious institutions and reputable magazines, internet magazines, even saying the same thing that I've been saying. Of course, they're on the sidelines. It's not regulated, which means it's too chancy and it doesn't have the prestige to enter that particular market. But when there's regulatory clarity, now it's more professional. Now you can enter. Now the rug pulls and scam coins and moms, Inu, Elon coins are gone. That look buffoonish. They're gone. And now the big money that stands on the side will step in. This is always the way that it happens. Also that, well, there's something else I was going to say, but let's move on here. We have another article here on Algorand, but this one here, this article is on fxstreet.com. Things just keep getting bigger and bigger for Algorand. The title is as such, the Musk family, Elon Musk's family. Money, 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 money. The Musk family is bullish on Algorand. It says, invest in decentralized music platform Dequency. Well, let's just read this, just a little tidbit here. Once again, this is on fxstreet.com. Go over there and check them out. It says, Algorand-based Dequency raised funds from investors, including Elon Musk's siblings, Tosca and Kimball. Dequency, a decentralized music platform, has raised $4.5 million in its latest investment round. Now, let me just stop there. Do you see what Algorand is doing by dominating? They're starting to take over a certain facet of the music industry. You see that? So you have Dequency here. Then didn't they have something going on with LimeWire? Look at that. Then don't they have also, correct me if I'm wrong, because this one may have happened a while ago, doesn't Algorand have something going on with Napster? Look at what they're doing. Think of the money that's going to flow into Algorand from the music industry. Now, they also had a tweet recently from Algorand about how they want to make it fair. Payments fair for artists. Let me tell you something. It doesn't take a lot to dominate the music industry right now. If you're in the position that Algorand is in, they could take a large portion of the music industry as far as artists coming there to post their work and things like that, royalty payments as such flowing over the blockchain. Why do I say that? I've been around for a while. I see what artists get paid, right? I know what it is to get paid per stream. Some artists are getting paid dimes and pennies per stream. The streaming, in other words, streaming pays you terribly unless you're getting millions of streams. And even then, it's not as good as outright money coming directly to you as an independent. Okay. Now you're using an intermediary when you're using something like Apple Music, Spotify, because they're going to take a huge percentage of the cut. Keep in mind all the other fees you have to pay as an artist, including purchasing of instrumentals. If that's what you do, you don't make your own instrumentals. Algorand doesn't have to do any of that. They can save you an exponential amount of money and offer the artist much more than Apple and Spotify do because of their essential nature as a blockchain, with transaction fees being so low, with being able to cut out certain intermediaries, with having NFTs available, and knowing all the capabilities of NFTs. So this is something I'm keeping my eye on. This is huge for Algorand, huge. And to have the Musk family, and you obviously know they did the research, to have the Musk family privy to what Algorand is, that says a lot in itself. So these are things to watch for in the future. I'm always bullish on the bank coins to the death. That's how I feel, man. XRP, listen, I'm deep in XRP, XLM, Algo, Hedera, Cello, and I'm here until the end. Don't worry, we will know, at least I will know when to take profits or, what to do. I'll watch the catalyst very closely. Let's move on here, all right, to some XRP news. So there was a tweet recently by Stuart Alderati, right? And he says this, but I'm going to read this little tidbit here. This is from a tweet. But what I really want to highlight is the video of Gary. It is very, very telling if you just know how to read people, right? Now, I'm not a body language expert, but I know how to read an individual very well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my amateur analysis because it was quite disturbing what I saw in this video. Now, this is what Mr. Alderati wrote. He said, we all agree that consumer and market protections are needed. But saying that every token besides Bitcoin maybe is a security is a combination of bad law and bad policy, all in the name of the SEC's political land grab over this asset class. I 100% agree, Mr. Alderati. The SEC's jurisdiction is not limitless. That is also very, very true. But if you look in this video, I'm going to play a little clip. There's no sound on it, but look at how Mr. Gensler starts relaxed back here, right? He's confused. He then at some point in the video, he leans forward. He's constantly moving this one hand. This is the power hand, by the way. He's moving this one hand to control you. Look how his head is sort of tilted down at a certain point, right? That's a combative and controlling posture. That tells me you're ready for combat. You want to dominate people. You're trying to impose your will. Look at how his shoulders are slightly relaxed, but his hand is up. That is the lion's paw. You understand? A lion puts up his paw. He's letting you know, hey, this is my territory. Don't play around. And with the way that Mr. Gensler purses his lips at times, right? That is a fighting or an attack type of energy building up. But we're talking about the animal world. When an animal bares his teeth, typically, I know humanity is not like this. Humanity bares its teeth a lot of times to show joy, right? That's a pretty good smile, actually. But anyway, in the animal world, typically, animals show their teeth when they're ready to attack, or they do these motions with their mouth. Also, keep in mind with his eyes, his brow is always furrowed a little bit, just the slightest. That means he knows he's under pressure. He doesn't feel comfortable with what he's doing, but he has to. He's in a battle with his own ego. His ego says, we have to win this. And his ego doesn't want to take a loss because that's not what Gary Gensler does. He doesn't take losses. That's why you're a worthy opponent, Mr. Gensler, and I'm going to relish defeating you. Only the worthy ones are worth defeating. I'm going to relish defeating you. But anyway, he's not used to taking a loss. But he also knows that this is wrong. He always wanted this job. He cannot go back on it now. It's too late. He's in deep. So now you see this tension in his forehead. You see his lips get pursed sometimes. You even see him come from back in a relaxed position. You see him lean up and get up on you. Right? Pay attention to that. He gets up on you. That's when someone wants to dominate you. When you're out there in the world and you see an individual approach you, they usually get close up on you before they attack. But this is mental. So the attack was going to come mentally, and you saw it come mentally throughout the entirety of this clip. It taught me a lot. It showed me a lot. We're going to do some more analysis on some of these individuals in the legacy system. They need to be broken down, in my humble opinion. But that's what I saw psychologically, physically, just a little bit actually of what I gleaned from that clip. That clip tells a lot. You can go to Gary Gensler's Twitter or Stuart Alderati's Twitter and watch that clip for yourself. It's highly disturbing in my opinion. Now, let's move on here. We have some more XRP news. News. Who used to do that in wrestling? Who used to make it sound like that? Was it the NWO? It was like NWO for life or something. I don't know, man. I think it used to go like that. Oh, man. Let me tell you something. I hated when Hulk Hogan turned bad guy, but at the same time, he was awesome as Hollywood Hogan. Any wrestling? There's no wrestling fans out there. Anyway, let's go here. This is on news BTC.com. XRP whales boost accumulation appetite. Register 2-month peak holding supply. They're quietly accumulating. We've been saying this for a long time because everyone who's holding XRP knows what's coming. We all know. There's no way to get around it with so many large financial institutions signed up, with XRP being the crux of on-demand liquidity. That price is going to skyrocket. That's a fact. Now, I saw more articles out there trying to FUD people. They're telling these people, telling the world, sorry about that, I'm making little notes on my notepad, and my pen is running out of ink. Holy smokes, what is going on here? And the articles are FUDding people, still telling people that Ripple doesn't have to use XRP. I am so tired of seeing these articles, but they're like everywhere. There's FUD everywhere. They're kicking crypto wallets down. But let's just rip their heads off one more time with the facts. Let's go here, okay? This is from Ripple.com itself. Oh, I love factual information. Ripple.com itself. Now, on-demand liquidity is at the core of what Ripple is going to be doing, the core of Ripple making money itself. So it does have a vested interest to use on-demand liquidity, correct? That's one of its biggest offerings. That eliminates pre-funding, correct? All right. Now, this is from Ripple.com. It says, known as on-demand liquidity, this service on RippleNet uses the digital asset XRP. I showed you other documents that said the same thing from Ripple.com and other sources, like maybe 2-3 videos back, didn't I? Now you have another one. Known as on-demand liquidity, this service on RippleNet uses the digital asset XRP as the bridge currency in the payment flow. The process is completed with the help of digital asset exchanges at either end of the payment flow, one in the send side country and one in the receive country. XRP. More for me. I don't know. I just felt like rhyming. I feel good today. You guys feel good out there today? I feel real good. It's Friday. Oh, man. Hey, listen up. All you guys and people out there, I say guys, but I mean everybody. Ladies and gentlemen out there, get to those Memorial Day barbecues. I know you're going to make Alphanine proud and eat a whole lot of food. What games are you playing? You guys play games at your family gatherings? What kind of games are you playing out there? Eat lots of food. Then you got to lift weights. Hey, don't be unhealthy. You party, you have a good time on that day. Next day, you got to get it. Lift weights. Get those dumbbells, sit-ups, drink water, go jogging. Got to stay healthy. Healthy body makes a healthy mind. Healthy mind means we trade better and make more money. And we have to get to that money. Now, so we just literally just destroyed those sources that are saying that XRP, Ripple might not use XRP and all of that. So now you know when you see those individuals, I just gave you proof that they are not credible anymore. All right. Now let's get back to some of these articles, man. I'm having a good time. I appreciate everybody being here with me today. I really, really do. Making videos sometimes it relaxes me. I like to communicate with a lot of you guys out there. Make sure you sign up in the members only section. I'm about to drop a giant video here. Very impactful video in my humble opinion. Sign up in that members only section. If you really want to support the channel, please whitelist me on your ad blockers. Ads go a long way. It really does. But if you don't want to do that, super thanks down below to support the channel, keep the channel alive. I'm going to continue to try to do my best for all you guys out there because I appreciate you, okay? So super thanks is down there if you want to drop a little bit in there. Hey, I appreciate anything you send over. I really do. So let's go here. So it says on crypto regulation. This is more about XRP. This is from cryptoglobe.com. Ripple CEO on 2017-2018 ICO booms, NFTs, and regulation. This came out May the 26th. I know they have that timestamp in there. That's just what he talked about. But let's scroll down here to a crypto regulation because this is important. Those regulations. Well, let's just read this little tidbit here. I certainly, quote, I certainly have said, and I think that the team at Ripple has said for years, the industry lacks clarity and lacks certainty. The overwhelming majority of people working in the crypto industry, I think, are good actors that want to do right by regulators. I agree with that also. Like, this is why I said a lot of the projects that are taking off right now just come into compliance. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't be lazy right now. You never know when these regulations are going to come down, when they're going to decide to do it. And when they decide to do it, it's going to move too fast for you. Come into compliance now so that your project can survive the crypto apocalypse when it does happen. All right. I just want to put that out there. There's a lot of good projects, but they need to come into compliance because they don't want to be eradicated. That's how I feel. It says, quote, and so for entrepreneurs, oh, wait, we skipped a little part. The overwhelming majority of people working in the crypto industry, I think, are good actors that want to do right by the regulators. But when the rules of the road aren't clear, it's very difficult to manage within that. Quote, and so for entrepreneurs and investors to participate in these markets, to invest in companies in this space, you want clarity and certainty. Didn't I just say that? So all the other people that are saying that lack of regulatory clarity is not holding back legacy system and certain investors and entrepreneurs, that's silly. Even Brad Garlinghouse is telling you here. And he's quite eloquent about saying it. It says, once again, to invest in companies in this space, you want that clarity and certainty. Who do you think he's talking about? There's a lot of money on the side. We all know this. Anybody who's been around the block for a long time, you've been in certain industries and you've been around a lot of money for a long time, working with individuals, you know how they behave. And you know that they wait for things to have clarity. They don't want any problems. So there you have it from Brad Garlinghouse himself. All right, so now we have, I want to go over this real quick. Thailand's central bank not rushing to deploy CBDC. This is from beincrypto.com. It says, Thailand bank sees sufficient payment alternatives. It says the comments came at an interview with the local media during the World Economic Forum. There were so many big announcements. By the way, they removed a lot of links. I posted a link in the community tab. By the way, I think YouTube has completely fixed the community tab, both for regular community posts and for members only section. So go there. I posted like maybe 3 or 4 new posts yesterday. You can give those a read. I think they're very good reading materials, very, very impactful for the bank coins. And then also click the thumbs up just so I know that you can see it. Okay, so I know that they completed the job of fixing the community tab. All right. So the central banker noted that the BOT will continue to run its trial of the retail CBDC for the public in the 4th quarter of this year. Okay, so it's not that long of a delay. However, it will be carried out on a limited scale with deposits, withdrawals, and fund transfers being tested by financial institutions. So it's okay, so they're still running tests. Here's what I believe is going to happen, because a lot of these bank coin companies and foundations, Algorand Foundation, Hedera, I think Ripple might also, but IBM definitely has a digital sandbox. They're beginning to offer digital sandboxes to the different banks so that they can test everything out without actually having to send things here and there, all the complications of manpower, man hours. I mean, excessive man hours. You're going to have some man hours, right? Some people hours in the office or behind the computer, but not as many as actually having to send the money back and forth between banks. The digital sandboxes can simulate all of that for you. And so now you're seeing like MTech for Hedera attempting to deploy digital sandbox everywhere. You have IBM, I believe they offer a digital sandbox. And I believe, does Ripple have a digital sandbox? Anybody know out there? Let me know in the comment section. But I believe that they do have a digital sandbox. I think you're going to start to see those being utilized more and more as things become more difficult to around the world to get people into the office with so many different crazy things happening. So I think that's what we're going to see, and they could run their tests through that. But either way, towards the end of the year, just a little bit of a delay is no big deal, in my humble opinion. So then let's go here. I just wanted to show you and get an update at the same time while showing you the Fedwire funds monthly statistics. Okay, you can always look up their monthly statistics. So you can see how much money is flowing through Fedwire. Why is that important? Keep in mind, Algorand is working to a certain capacity with MIT, who is also working with the federal government, advising them. All right, so there is a possibility. I would say possibility is not. I would say it's not a. It's not a high percentage of possibility, but still a possibility, and we'll have to just watch as Algorand increases its interactions with the federal government or with MIT into what capacity they're going to be doing projects with MIT. Is it going to go beyond this initial project that they're working on? So we have to watch that. But the bank coins are in there. We know that they were tested. We know that the Bank of International Settlements has tested a bevy of them. And also the Bank of International Settlements now has a hub or a piece of it that is working with the federal government of the United States. So we went over that last year, correct? All right, so Algorand is in there. Then we know that XRP Ripple has a great relationship with the certain government entities in the United States. I have to say certain government entities. They definitely don't have a good relationship with the SEC. Goes without saying, right? But they're on the Faster Payments Council of the United States. Don't ever forget that. Woo! Faster Payments Council. Money, money, money. That's that give me money fingers. So because of that, we need to know how much money is flowing through Fedwire if ever any of these bank coins build a relationship with them and provide an agnostic bridge currency, liquidity, whatever it might be, to whatever capacity they may work with them. This is in the millions. All right, this is the average daily volume of transfers in millions. I'm going to put it on the screen just in case I read it wrong. You don't have to worry about what I'm reading because you can read it for yourself. This is the beauty about doing your own research, and sometimes having someone to just bring it to you, you can see it for yourself. Okay, this is in the millions. January 2022. Keep in mind that the world is on fire right now and they're still moving this much money. Imagine what it's going to be when everything is much better. If everything can get much better, hopefully it will. January 2022, this is in the millions. So we're looking at 4,170,673,000,000 they moved. And that's just in January. Let's look at February. February went down just a little bit. 4,087,772,000,000 they moved in the month of February. Don't worry, I know it went down a little bit. That's still good money, isn't it? Imagine a piece of that, a modicum of that flowing across the XRPL, flowing through XRP. Could you even imagine? This is just the Fed. This is not even including all the other banks they have signed up for interbank payments. I don't think some people get that. This is just the Fed. Man, let's continue on here. In March, it went back up. $4,279,983,000,000. That it went back up significantly in March. I wonder why that is. That's actually quite interesting. Maybe we need to look a little bit deeper and then we can find out or at least draw a conclusion on why it went back up. But that is a lot of a Monday. Listen, today may not look so good. I don't care about what's going on in these markets right now, these little fluctuations. I have my long plays. I believe in the bank coins. I know what they're going to do in the future. I feel excited. I feel good. It also feels weird to feel this good, this good with so many others. They seem so like sad and depressed. I don't think they really believe in their projects. But hey, to each his own. I just feel excited knowing what the future is going to be for projects like XRP, XLM, Algorand. You see what they're doing. They're continuing to march forward. They're continuing to build. You see the whales are accumulating slowly, little by little. So it doesn't really show you outright if you're just looking at charts. They're accumulating little by little because they know. If you know what projects like, let's say, I don't talk about it a lot, but like, let's say XDC, what they're trying to do with trade finance, Hedera, what they're doing. Oh man, Hedera, H-bar. We're going to get into that at some point very, very soon. Once again, we haven't covered H-bar in a while, but they've been making major moves. It's time to cover them again. Cello. Who was it recently? There's one of the bank coins I was reading about recently had another member of Swift join them. I'm trying to remember. Who was that? Former members of Swift have been joining a lot of bank coin projects. So anyway, everything is looking good in my humble opinion. Now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.